Hello everyone, Shroomraver here, and welcome to my sort of season summary for Season 2 of the Pokemon Premier League. Yes indeed, it's me out of all character, I'm shaving, I've got my hair cut, I'm out of story mode and into summary mode, just to sort of have a bit of a rundown of the season, how Mons did, how we did, and keep watching till the end, because there'll be a little bit of fun stuff going on there. But yeah, the season is over. We managed to make semi-finals, which is an amazing achievement for me personally. I didn't think I was going to get there. I don't think many other people thought we were going to get there either. But I feel like we had a strong season. I feel like we put a really good performance in, did the best we could. Crashing out in the semi-finals is tough, especially the way it went, but there's no shame in losing to a coach like Anderson like we did. That was just something that we knew was always a possibility. But coming in third is an awesome achievement. I'm really proud of what we did. And yeah, that's sort of where we stand. But yeah, I just sort of want to go through the team we had that got us to that point. I think this is probably one of my favourite teams I've ever drafted. Certainly I think it's one of the better teams that I've drafted. It's up there with like my original PPL Season 2 team, my CCL team from back in the day, and a few others that are sort of, I think, are pretty sort of high tier for what we did. In terms of the regular season, like I said, we came in 4th in the regular season with a sort of 5-3 differential. We only lost 3 games and they were all close 1-0s, which I think again is a good achievement. You know, we could have gone a bit better, we could have gone a bit worse. We got a little bit of luck here and there, but overall it was quite a clean season up until that ill-fated semi-final match. But I just want to go through the Mons. I'm going to go through them quickly. You know, you've seen them do their work. So I'm not going to talk about the Mons we had that never made an appearance. This is just the final iteration of the team. There were winners and there were losers. And one of the big winners was Garchomp. The first one we drafted. Regular season came to all 8 games. It's been a rarity that I've had a Mon in any league that comes to every single game I play, but Garchomp was a shoo-in. Came to all 8 games, went 9-5. Came in 14th, I believe it was, in the MVP race, which is huge. Yeah, it's the first time I've ever used Garchomp in Draft League, and I don't know why I haven't taken it before. It's an absolute powerhouse. We wouldn't have got to where we were without it, that's for damn sure. So big plays from Garchomp. Hisuian Samurott, not quite as big of a player for me. Only came to 5 of those games, went 3-5. It didn't quite get its chance to shine in a team where we had a lot of better pieces. It didn't even really get a chance to do a lot of hazard setup like it did in Bolton Flare, but it was useful. It had its moments, and had a few times where it sort of allowed other Mons to do a lot of the work for it. It's still one of my favourite ones to use in draft over the past 2 seasons. I've really loved having it as an option, and I think it was freer now to do more things when it wasn't trying to be overshadowed by Cleavor like I had in Bolton Flare. It was on its own to do its thing, and you know, it did okay. It wasn't great, I wanted it to do better, but them's the breaks. But another one of the big winners was Mew. Mew was huge. Now, you know I've loved using Mew, and I like to build a team around it that allows Mew to really go all out and explore its options. And Mew going in with 11-5, once again it came to all 8 of my regular season games and came in 6th in the MVP race, which is massive. Big fan of how it went for Mew. It got a chance to really sort of spread its wings and do a lot of good work with some interesting offensive sets. In a meta where defense isn't really the biggest option, Mew put in a bit of a shift there as well, which was nice. So yeah, Mew, it's always going to be one of my favourites to use in draft format, and it came good for me here. Absolute massive showing from it. Another one that didn't get as much use as I'd like is Enamorous. Enamorous and Kana only came to 3 games. It was a consummate threat in those. One of the only Mons, it's the only Mon I had that came to multiple games in the regular season and never went lower than a neutral differential across the games. It went 4-2 from 3. And yeah, it was nice as a sort of breaker. Once I started to think in a more kind of what roles can Mons fill as opposed to just getting good speed tiers and good typings. To then think of Enamorus as just a breaker that could do a lot of damage early game really started helping me out. And it had a long period where it didn't come to any games, and then it only came to the last one after 4 weeks on the bench. But Enamorus was good. I'd like to try and get more use out of it. But realistically, it was overshadowed in the Fairy mold by a mon that was an absolute joy to use, being my Terra Sinistra. It became my main Fairy, and to say it's overshadowed Enamorus, came to 7 games, went 6-6 in a mostly defensive role. That's really good. And Sinistra was probably one of the best Terramons in the format at the moment, and I was really glad that I was able to utilise it. It went very offensive, sort of in the first half of the regular season, then took a back seat, just in a more supporting role, and it put in an absolute shift. It was just a threat, it stuck around, it got damage, it was just great. Fortress, not so much. Fortress, what do I say about it? It went 0-3 from the 4 games it came to. It never got a kill. It is, I think, the only mon I drafted and used that didn't get a kill. Fortress, it was the only mon I could pick at the time that fit into the roles I needed, and it's just not as good as it wants to be. It's kind of got Sandslash issues from Bolt and Flare, where it's kind of been overshadowed. It doesn't do the job it wants to as well anymore. It did okay. Like, I don't think I ever really got an actual spin-off with it, but it did okay. It certainly played well in the first game in a losing effort, but there are always going to be better spinners than Fortress. Unfortunately, it hasn't really stood up to the meta. But Entei certainly did. Entei's stats do kind of flatter to deceive. Came to 4 games and went 7-2, but one of those games was the big 6-0 one against Jack, where it got all the kills. But once I stopped thinking of Entei as just my fire type that can do a lot of things and started thinking of it as just a pure breaker, that's when it started to really sort of shine. I stopped thinking about it as a potential sort of sweeper early on, and started thinking of it as just something that would hit hard and things don't want to take a hit from. And that's when it started to become a threat in the back of people's minds. And yeah, I just think that's the role it needs to be utilised in. Just think of it as a pure breaker, and that's what it does best. Similarly, Raikou, I needed to stop thinking of that as a sweeper and start thinking of it more in a kind of support role, which is how I used it. Raikou also came to 4 games, went 2-3. But I needed to stop thinking of it, like I say, as a sweeper and start thinking of it as a supporter, chip damage, screens that came in handy in the quarterfinals. Raikou's stats don't tell the story of how much of a good supporting one it was, which you don't think of necessarily in a fast electric type, but that's what Raikou did for me, and put in a showing doing so. So it got to show its stuff. Okidogi really didn't. I wanted to get more use out of it. I brought it to a lot of games. It came to 3 and only went 1-1. I wanted to use it in a really fun way. I tried against Ellie and it just didn't pan out. But I kind of wished that I'd stuck to drafting Okidogi from the start. I think it would have gotten a lot more playtime and it would have done a lot better if I had played it in that kind of regard. I wouldn't say Okidogi is a winner or a loser, it just needs more time. If you want to see Okidogi used really well, you want to go and watch Uzi's run in SPL, where he's used it very effectively. Certainly better than I could. But Okidogi just needed a bit more time, really. And as mons that need more time, Zangoose breaks my heart, man. Zangoose breaks my heart. It only came to the first game. The problem I had with Zangoose, I wanted to run it in this really offensive role, but when I had the combination of better physical attackers like Garchomp, Hisuian Samurott, Entei, Okidogi even, and just one of the best Terra captains going in Sinistra, Zangoose never got a chance. It only came to the first game, it sat on the bench for the rest of it. The only one of my quote-unquote not real mons to survive until the end, but Zangoose never really got a chance. I never really saw too much of a use for it. Could have spent the funds better, but it went 1-1 from that one game. Maybe one day it'll get more use, but this was not the team for it. And then we had Charger Bug. Oh, Charger Bug, what a mon! Drafted in, came to the final game of the season, put in a shift as a defensive wall. Loved using Charger Bug in that one game. It absolutely put in work. It was only ever going to come to 1 or maybe 2 games tops, but when it did, it stuck to its role and it did an absolutely fantastic job. Vicar Volt probably would have been better, but Charger Bug is bulkier, and it just did what it needed to. So yeah, that's really a very quick look over the team that I had. I loved using it. I think it was a very strong team for what it was. And you know, it's the team that took me to semi-finals, which I'm super chuffed about. We put in a good showing. We made a good example of ourselves, I think, to go as far as we did. But yeah, that is the team breakdown. So let's get into the second half of this video and talk about some of the people who helped us out along the way. So here we are. It's full screen me now. Hi. Yeah, a lot of people to thank for how this season went. First and foremost, our dear commissioners, Ellie and Jack. Thank you for putting on such a great season. I know there were challenges to this one, but you guys stuck with it. Took the help and support where it was needed, and you guys came through and put on a fantastic showing this season. So thank you guys for doing that and for having me back along for the ride. It was an absolute joy to be here. Next up, people who helped me with my sort of team building, the little group that I'm in with the likes of Wanzi and Frank, KJ, Kahlua Boom, Danny, my man, Necro Stevo, Don Fanatic Jack was in there for a bit, Padel came back, it was nice to see them again. It's nice to have that kind of group where everyone's sort of throwing ideas at each other, people just drop in a matchup, drop in their ideas, and people sort of jump in and out with maybe this will be good, maybe that will be good. I like to think I helped a few people with some niche defensive sets. People helped me out with a lot of sets as well. So all of you guys, MVPs, thank you so much for dropping in and helping me out and helping me get to where we got to, you know. Wouldn't have been able to do it without. Little shout out to Addison as well for that Entei set against Jack, which got the 6 kills as well. Always a pleasure. But you guys, thank you so much for helping me out with that. Like to think that I would try and repay the favour as well. It's a good group. It's nice to have that kind of unity within it. And of course, a big thank you has to go out to everyone who helped with my silly little stories. I like to have an ongoing story running throughout a season. And when I came into the season, I didn't give myself much of a chance of going quite far, so I didn't want to take it too seriously. If you want serious storytelling, once again, you want to go and watch the Uzi Gunner and his run in the SPL. He's kind of cornered the market on serious hero's journey stories. It's fantastic content and you should absolutely watch it. But I wanted to follow on from the weird alter ego stuff in Bolt and Flare, and we had a huge amount of help with that. Some people I've already mentioned. Alex, my partner in crime, my duo's writer, the man who helps me out with a lot of ideas, and he of course got involved with the recording as well. Frank too, making his own little video to go along with it, which was great fun. It was good to have him back in the fold for that kind of council reunion, Council of Boomers story as well. Other people of course who helped out. It was cool to have a lot of people approach me to help out. So Matt, Dr. Slacking, we were in talks. We were sort of talking about getting some recording done with him. He didn't want to be on camera. He said he wouldn't feel comfortable doing skits for other people's channels. Totally respect that. That's, you know, it's not everyone's cup of tea to be on someone else's channel doing it. But I was like, that's fine. Can I use like maybe some of your clips and like, you know, your likeness? He was like, absolutely go for it. So big thanks to Dr. Slacking, my boy. It's going to be a shame not to see him doing draft content. Certainly for the foreseeable, but you know, it's been a pleasure to work with Matt as well. Necro Stevo, my man, he came through. Who just like, if you need someone, I'm in. And working with Necro is great because he just goes completely off the rails with it in a very good way. And he added this kind of levity with his own sort of Shadow Necro storyline, which tied in super well. So I was really happy to get Necro on board. Jack, the Don Fanatic, my good friend. We love to meme on each other, but he's a very good personal friend of mine. And you know, he didn't have to do what he did. He had real life stuff going on, which is entirely fair. But he still put aside the time to help me out with some recording stuff. He was still more than happy to be involved in storyline. And he had a big role. He was my big villain. And he had some real life stuff going on, but he still put time aside to help me out with mine. So, Jack, thank you so much. Always a pleasure to have the Don Fanatic on board. So that was good fun. Who else do we have? Lars L Sizzle. Again, he approached me saying, like, if you need anyone to be a part of things, then yes, absolutely, I'm in. And I was like, yes, let's go for it. And he took this approach to it. He was like, okay, we got in call, and he was like, right, what does my character need to know? I need to know what I would know so that I can play off that, which was a super professional way of doing it. And again, easy to work with. Lars. Some people like to have script, like I know the Don Fanatic, Jack, he likes to have a script to work off, which I provided. People like Lars was more than happy to just be like, I'ma just wing it, just tell me what my character would know and I will work with that. And he did, and it was great. He put so much emotion into the performance. I felt like a director. It was amazing. So yeah, awesome to work with Lars again in that regard. Ellie as well. I wanted Ellie to be a part of things on camera. She didn't want to be on camera, but she lent her voice and everything, and it was so much fun recording with her. That like call went on for like ages because we just got caught up in chatting afterwards and playing hackmons and all that kind of good stuff like we used to back in the day. And it was great fun to record with Ellie again. She's one of my very close friends. I love working with her. Who else was involved? I think that's most of the people. But of course, probably my biggest shout out for the recording stuff with my stories goes to Addison. I didn't really know how to approach Addison about it. She and I had never really interacted very much, but it was Alex actually who said you should get Addie involved because she would love it. So I got in contact with her and she was like, absolutely yes, 100%. And then she said, you know, she actually lives relatively close to me and she was like, I can come down and we can record in person. And like, she didn't have to do that. She took an entire day out of her life to just come down and visit little old me and do some recording with me, which was so much fun. Like, I was scared of Addison as a coach, but I didn't really know her as a person, and she'll be one of the first to say she can be quite intimidating. But having met her in person, she is just an absolute sweetheart. She is lovely. She is so easy to get along with. We recorded, we hung out, and it was just a great day. So huge thanks to Addison for doing that and for coming back again to help out with the semi-final stuff. Now, obviously you guys have seen the semi-final. She haxed me to shit. I can laugh about it now. Yeah, we chat about that afterwards, and there's obviously no hard feelings at all. These things happen. Addison is a very deserving finalist and gives us the final that I think we all wanted, which is Addie versus Mante, which was very cool indeed to have that. I think, yeah. But recording and filming with Addison, thank you so much for that, Addie. Again, she didn't have to do that, but she did, and it made all the world of difference. It was so much fun. I think that is that everyone I recorded with? I think it is. I do want to give a shout out to Ricky as well. He was gonna record with me, but he took ill and he had like COVID stuff, so he couldn't do that. We worked around it, but big thanks to Ricky for volunteering to take part. Also, by the way, I never got to record with the man, I never got to battle the man, and that's one of my big regrets about the season. But shout out to Chase, shout out to Seabad for putting on the watch parties as well. Those have been an absolute delight to watch. Like, they start at like midnight my time. I'm like, no, I'm staying up and watching this. I want to see the reactions from Chase. I'm sad that I never got to battle him because he's someone that I was a huge fan of, who became a friend, and just like chatting with him about stuff is always great fun. Hopefully, I'll get to battle him at some point in the future. That's the dream. Get to battle Chase one day in the future, and one day, we'll have our revenge on Addison for what she did to us in the semi-finals. But yeah, that's, I think, is the shout-outs that I want to give to the coaches that I recorded with. I don't think there's anyone else. If I'm forgetting anyone, I'm so sorry. But if I'm forgetting anyone, and I did record with you, then thank you so much for everything. It really made the world of difference to my season and just really got me back into really enjoying making these videos. And the last people I want to thank are you people, you wonderful people watching who have shared this journey with us and indulged my silly little storytelling and watched the battles as they went. It's been great fun, I have to say. It has been a great season. I am just going to double check real quick. Is there anyone that I have forgotten that I recorded with? Let me check. I'm scrolling down to make sure there's no one I've forgotten. I don't think there is. I don't think I've forgotten anyone. Let's see. We're super professional here, as I'm sure you know. But I think we got everyone. Yes, I think we got everyone. So yeah, thank you to all the people I recorded with. And I say thank you to all you guys for watching along and sharing this journey with us. But yes, like I said, there is going to be a little bit of fun at the end of this video. Here's the thing. Recording with people is great fun, but my editing only goes so far. And recording with friends is always going to be a little bit more difficult because it's just such a relaxed atmosphere that you're not always taking yourselves very seriously, which we didn't. And because my editing isn't entirely up to par, everything had to be recorded in one take. Everything. Which means sometimes it didn't go to plan. So, we're going to end off this video just with a little blooper reel. Some of the outtakes are the things that happened that I didn't put in the intros, just for a little bit of fun. But yeah, hopefully you guys can enjoy that. I'm going to get out of here. I've rambled on for far too long. So my final thank you to you all for watching. Will there be a next time? I don't know. I'd love to be in another upcoming season of PPL, but like I've said before, that's a story for another time. That's a conversation for other people to have. If I'm invited back, then I would surely love to be a part of it. So keep your eyes open. You never know what's around the corner. But like I say, I'm going to get out of here. Final thank you to you all for watching. Please enjoy the outtakes and bloopers. And with that, I will see you next time. Laters. Quality content for the blooper reel.
I don't like the way you're rubbing your hands together. You're scaring me. No, stop it.
Lovely.
No.
What?
Yeah.
Tell me what's happened.
It's Jack! Jack is doing the thing. He's the guy to cut off there, the video.
Excellent. Fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah, and my mind was prepared for this moment. The whole week.
Stuff.
So should I start with just hi Shroomy?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hi Shroomy.
Sorry, I couldn't.
Is that perfect?
I couldn't. That is perfect. That is perfect. I will absolutely straight face it next time. Perfect.
No. I don't know why you're here.
Oh, well. Shit. Fuck, what am I doing? I got so entranced in Shroomy. I have better things to do with my time.
But you'd be so good at it. You've already beaten Ellie, and she's one of the people we trust the least.
I was just buying time. Just. Shit. Fuck.
Alright, I'll put fun Discord sound editing effects in for the start of.
Do-do-do, do-do-do. Do-do-do, do-do-do.
Hey Ellie, how you doing? That's the exact sound effect I used. Just me making all the sound effects. But
I didn't know you were a Foley artist, Shroom.
I did all the voice notes and sound effects for Discord, actually. That was all.
Never
me.
seen you and the Discord sound artist in the same room. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Fuck!
We're gonna spend 30 minutes trying to do this 5-minute clip, aren't we?
Yes! Miss Commissioner. We ready
Hey, listen. You don't need to use formal titles around here. We're friends. Come on. What do you mean? Why are you laughing?
No! I don't know. I just went for no reason.
Oh, this is good. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Still our first take. It's fine. Did it first try.
It's all going into blooper reel.
Ah, dear. You know what? I thought that would take a lot longer. You giggling halfway through the first take for no reason.
I nearly went when you said they've been down my throat.
I honestly, I thought you were gonna go when I said the short one.
The short one, yeah.
I thought you...
I was just like, no, keep it together, keep it together, keep it together, keep it together.
I thought that would have got you for sure. We do a little trolling.
Oh, we do.
Hello?
Mr. Wanzi, I figured it was time we had ourselves another chat.
Sorry, I've cracked up at that. I've cracked up at that.
Keep that recording in, it's going in the bloopers reel.
Okay.
Alright. I'm gonna keep recording, I'm just gonna leave the recording on and try again.
Cool. Hang up and call again. God damn it. I wasn't ready for it. I didn't expect the accent. I'm like, why?
Oh, classic.
Oh,
Alright, take
right.
two.
Take two.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake. Get him out now. Ah! Okay. Oh, God.
Holy crap, Dave! Are you okay? I saw the videos. What the hell is happening?
Oh, you froze. You froze.
Sorry, you froze. I don't know what happened.
Amazing.
You froze as well, so I was like, shit.
Get
Should we try that again?
Get that in the blooper reel.
Why? What else has gone wrong?
There was one where Alex just... It was going fine, and then Alex halfway through was just like, no, fuck this. And I was like, it was going fine. I was like, no, I fucked it, we'll do it again. We go again. Wait, what am I seeing? Whoa, no. Oh, Frank, why are you like this? Right, now I have desktop audio going.
Hell yeah.
So now I'm actually recording you two as well, as opposed to just me.
Nice.
Balcony, that's true. That's very British in
Balconing.
Spain. Have you not heard about it, dude?
No.
Yeah. It's something that British tourists do in Spain. And they are normally so drunk when they come here on vacation, which, by the way, it's unbearable, but,
Yeah.
you know, kind of have to deal with it as a touristic country. So they jump from balcony to balcony in hotels, or they jump to the swimming pool from the balcony. And at least there's from 1 to 5 British vacation men who die in Spain doing that. It's a thing.
Why? What is wrong with people? I can't play the one I added to the PPL. Can you play the one I added to the PPL, Alex? Absolute classic. Absolute classic. There could be people anywhere. There could be people watching this call now.
Character.
Method actress Addison.
I need to method actress. everything. Oh, Shroomy, you're so cute. You're so cute, Shroomy. You're adorable.